The number one mistake that you're making with your Etsy and print on demand business is not the lack of listings, it's not your SEO, it's not your mockups, it's the lack of research. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you why that's the number one mistake and what you should be doing instead. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bridget. I'm an Etsy print on demand seller on a mission to help other Etsy sellers start and scale their business in a stupid easy way. So if you like this type of content, please subscribe, like, hit the bell so you can be notified of the next time I release a new video. So let's get right into it. So I know you've been told that your SEO needs to be good, your mockups needs to be good, and all those things are great, but at the same time, if you don't have designs that people want, none of that is gonna matter. They're still not gonna sell. I'm sure you have been on Etsy and you've seen lots of listings that the mockups are horrible, the SEO is bad, but they're still selling. They're like bestsellers, 20 in the cart, they have so many reviews. And the reason why that design is selling or that item is selling is because that seller has figured out what their customers want. They have done tons and tons and tons of research to know what people want, what they like, etc. So, of course, having great SEO is important, having great mockups is important, but the number one thing that you need to keep in mind is that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if those things are perfect. If your designs are still not what people want, I'm sorry, they're not gonna sell. So instead of spending hours and hours doing SEO research or trying to perfect your SEO or sitting on Canva or GoDaddy, whatever software you use to design, and just staring at a blank canvas because you have no idea what to design and ideas are just not flowing, the more time that you spend time at doing research, the more everything is just gonna flow effortless. It's kind of like when I'm sure you've been on YouTube and you've seen so many like tutorials, like design tutorials, and you're like, how do they do that so easily? It's because that seller has spent so much time researching that their brain is so primed that everything just kind of like flows. So when they're designing, everything just kind of comes together so easily. So if you're so frustrated with not knowing what to design, or you're just like, I don't have any ideas, well, the more time you spend, again, I'm gonna be saying this word so many times, the more time that you spend researching, looking at what people want, the easier everything else is gonna be. The reason why I keep telling you that you need to be focusing more on researching, figuring out what people want, giving customers more of what they want, is because I wish I would have done this sooner. I spent so much time doing all the wrong things. I even bought a course and I didn't even follow what the course was laying out because I was so stuck in doing things my way. I was that person that had over 100 listings and no sales. I was that person that also was designing in low competition niches and still had no sales. Why? Because my designs were not in demand. What I was designing, nobody wanted. So it doesn't matter if you have 50 listings, 1,000 listings. If you are designing in niches that are like super low competition, yes, people can find you. Yes, people might scroll to your items, but nobody's gonna buy it because at the end of the day, you're not designing nothing, or you're not designing things that that person wants, that resonates with them. So now that I harping so much on this whole research and demand, like, okay, but what does that look like? And for my type A personality people, this is not a black and white thing. I'm not gonna walk you through like first you do this, second you do this. This is a very messy, creative, like just kind of you go with it wherever it leads you. It's not like super like organized, like it has to be done in a certain way. You get to do it however you want to. The whole point of doing like research or looking at whatever is in demand, trending, is to prime your brain or to tell your brain that these are the items that people want. These are the items that people want. So you can do this anywhere. You can do this on Etsy. You can do this on Pinterest. You can go to Target. I mean, you can go to your favorite online retailer. I'm sure you subscribe to a lot of retailer emails and they send you coupons, or they might tell you like, this is the fall drop. Those are all things that are trending. Those are all things that are in demand that people want. Pay attention to all those things. Or let's say, I like to do this a lot. I design for mostly shirts and sweatshirts. I love to look at stickers for inspiration. I love to look at mugs. I like to think outside of the box of what I'm doing. So the whole point of this process is to go deeper, is to go outside of the box of what you think. And it's not about spending just 5 minutes. And the reason I'm saying this is because I used to do this. I will literally say, I'm going to do research, and I would spend 5 minutes looking at one Etsy listing, and then I will go and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to create. The problem with that is your brain still doesn't have enough information to create things that are unique. And this is how you end up with this whole, like, not that you want to copy somebody, but your designs end up looking so much as other sellers because you only looked at one item. There's no way that you can gather inspiration by just looking at one thing. You have to do this like a lot. You have to do this every day, look at so many different things. So again, when you sit down to design, your brain kind of can pick up from all the different things that you found and you put something together that's unique, that adds value, that's different to the market, but it's still within what people want. So before I share my screen and I kind of walk you through my process and how I do this, one last thing that I want to say is use research as a time to, again, prime your brain. If you feel inspired to design after it, do it. But again, this time should not be about just like, okay, let me look at this real quick and then let me go design. No, the whole point of doing this research is to just soak in all the information, looking at everything and letting your brain just like take it all in. Obviously, if you do feel inspired to then do some designs, you can do so, but don't take it for that. Use that time to truly like get messy and get super involved in what you see. And if you want to take notes or if you want to favor something, you can do that, but don't focus so much on, okay, I need to do this so then I can design. Like, because then that just adds so much pressure. You want to make this fun, you want to make it easy, you want to make it flowing. I love to look at it as a whole like experiment, like you being a scientist and you just like kind of like looking and just take the research process as just an experiment. Have fun, play with it. Don't be so restricted. Let your brain or let your whatever you're clicking on just kind of lead you. Go into rabbit holes. I guess that's the better word. Go into rabbit holes. And the better you get at doing this, I'm telling you, if you're in this situation where you're just like, I'm just so desperate, or I've been doing this for this many months and I've done this and I've done this and I don't have the results that I want. I'm telling you, the more time that you spend doing research, the more time that you spend giving people what they want, looking at what people want, and you give your customers that, I'm telling you, sales will just come. Like, that's just how simple that is. Yes, everything else will kind of build from it, like your SEO and your mockups. That will be like a icing on the cake. But the number one thing that I want you to get from this, and as I share my screen and kind of show you what I do, is that you need to spend time doing this. Like, you need to just forget about everything else, like forget about the design for a minute, forget about the SEO, but spend more time researching, spend more time looking at things that people want. The more you do this, I'm telling you, the better it will be, the easier everything else will be. And if you don't want to take my word for it, I'm telling you this because this has been my experience, but go listen to other YouTubers, go listen to other print-on-demand people that are also sharing their journey. They will tell you the same thing. They will tell you that the most important thing is demand. Looking at what people want, that's the thing. Like, if you can solely focus on how to get better, what to give people more, what they want, everything else will just kind of come. So, not that I kind of talk your ear out, give you a little back information. Let's go into my screen because I really want to share my screen so I can show you a little bit of kind of what I do, because I know we're all visuals and you're probably like, well, she told me all this, but how do I put this into practice? And again, when I'm sharing my screen, I kind of gonna walk you through like my brain, how I operate, but again, it might look differently for you, and that's okay. So don't take the way that I'm showing you how to do this as like literally, like it has to be done this way. This is just for me to like help you kind of like get that started and seeing how you can like actually do this process and don't feel so overwhelmed by it. So let's go to my screen so I can show you how to do that. Okay, so the first page I'm going to be sharing with you guys is Pinterest. I love doing research on Pinterest, but this is like trends.pinterest.com. You do need to create an account to be able to do this, but you can easily just use like an email, whatever email you would like to use, and just kind of create an account to do this. So the way that you do this is when you do trends.pinterest.com, it just takes you here. You can literally search in here, like you can type whatever you would like here, but I usually just scroll all the way down because this will tell you like what's trending within the past 30 days. So for example, right now, obviously it makes sense. We're heading into fall, so there's like fall nails, outfits, Halloween nails, even like home decor. So guys, again, Once I get to this point, you can kind of go here and you just take it from anywhere. So if you keep scrolling like this, it will give you even more ideas. Or you can also, I also like to look down here and it will kind of tell you like what's been trending, like type of keywords that's been trending. And you can also click on those. The way I love to do research on Pinterest is, for some reason, I just love to look at nails, because this is the thing. Again, it's all about thinking outside of the box, right? You might not, you're like, well, I'm selling shirts. Why am I looking at nails? Because again, when you're looking nails, there's like colors, there is patterns, there's so many different things that you can pull from that can help you, again, see what people like, right? What's in demand, what people want. And then the beauty about this is the more you do this, then you kind of start putting like things together. Like you kind of just start being like, oh, I saw this color here, and then I saw this color over here, and then you kind of start seeing what goes well together. So for example, then I scroll down here and I literally just start clicking away. Like for example, this nails, like this flowers right here that are kind of like daisy, that has been super popular. Like flowers have been so crazy popular. So I just clicked on that, right? And then literally all I do now is, if I want to keep clicking on stuff, I will do that, or I can also just start scrolling. And all I'm doing is just letting my brain look at all these items. And when I say letting my brain look at all these items, is I'm looking at colors, like, all these different browns, these nails that I clicked on. I looked at, this pink. I looked at these flowers that they kind of look like daisies. I'm looking at everything that I see. So I just kind of start scrolling, and I'm sure if you look at these flowers, and if you go on Etsy, I'm sure you've seen a lot of flowers that has been really trending. People have been loving flowers, especially like these daisies. So it's kind of like the more you do this, again, the more you kind of start putting things together, and you'll know what works. So again, I start scrolling and I just keep looking. You see like this nails right here has this little like fun, kind of like not neon colors, but like kind of like this like retro, hippie, groovy vibe. This is what this is giving me. So again, I'm just kind of looking at all that. Then you go down, keep going. For example, this nails right here are giving me like this, I don't know, like a checker or like a pattern vibe. Oh, this one, see, I just clicked on it and it's giving me like a, see, checker. Well, this one is perfect. You have like this beautiful green and you have like this checker, and then you also have flowers. So again, I'm just looking at all those things, and I'm just saying these things out loud just to kind of help you seeing what I'm looking at. But all you're doing, and when you're doing this, is you're just looking. Literally, this is what it is. You just look and look, and if something calls you, like something kind of like drives you in, like for example, you look at this again, flower brown thing, you just click on it and you start clicking again, going into rabbit holes and rabbit holes and rabbit holes, and this is what it looks like. And you're just letting your brain just soak everything in, and you just keep looking at it and just keep looking. And that's kind of what I do. So Pinterest, I love looking at nails. I mean, I can obviously go and search like shirts if I want to here, but I just love looking outside of the box because it just kind of helps me think beyond what I do. But for example, I just put shirts, right? And then again, I can just do this whole scrolling again, and you start looking the flower, and you start looking, for example, this Hawaii. It's kind of like the placement is a little bit curved, the color of the shirt. So literally that's all you're doing, and you start scrolling and scrolling, and let's say, wow, I really love this shirt. You just click on it so you can look at it some more. And then again, you're looking at the color of the shirt, what's on the shirt. So that's literally everything that you're doing. And then you can sit here and spend literally hours and hours doing this. And this is how I do it on Pinterest. And if you even want, you can like create Pinterest boards. So then you can kind of have like a little section where everything that you've liked kind of lives in that one place. So you can do that. Then another place that I like to go to is Google Trends. So Google Trends is just trends.google.com. This one, again, you can go at it in so many different ways. You can literally just explore what is trending right now, and you will scroll and it will kind of tell you what's trending right now. You can literally just type too. You can just put in like shirts, and then it will just kind of tell you again it will like, even Google, the way it works, it will also tell you like when something peaks and when something kind of like drops. Like shirts, obviously people search for shirts like all through the year, so it just stays pretty consistent. And again, this is cool, that can tell you like sub-region of people that have been searching this the most. Also, then this is where it gets fun, because here is like you can start looking at like, as far as shirts, what's being like trending. And obviously, guys, you got to take this also lightly. A lot of the stuff that you're going to find here on Google is like things that are probably like dealing with celebrities that are trademark. But again, we're not looking at this from that angle. We're just looking at this from like what people like and how I can create my own spin on it, type of thing. So that's just more of kind of like what you're doing there. And you can also, for example, start clicking on it. Not that you should be doing Taylor Swift stuff, but if you start clicking on it, then it'll take you into more rabbit holes. And then you can keep typing here. Let's say if you want to look up sweatshirts, right? Or it'll tell you, same thing again, the region that looks at it the most. Then it will tell you what has been trending for sweatshirt. Look at this, graphic crew neck sweatshirt, right? So then it'll be like, okay, so people like, graphic crew neck, or some Jewish something. So you just kind of like, again, you start clicking on it and just seeing kind of where it leads you, and you just go from there. Or you can also go to the trending now area, and it will tell you literally what's happening right now. This is for the people that are like in this very like what I call like politics or feminists, like those type of niches. This is a good way to get inspiration, because it kind of tell you what is happening in the world right now, type of thing. So this is kind of what I do on Google. And again, it's just for me to know more of like what is, happening, type of thing. Then another big way that I love to do another big way that I love to do demand research, trend research, however you want to call this, is I love to follow the shops that I buy from. So this is Pink Lily. I don't know if you ever heard from Pink Lily, but I love their stuff. I bought so many other stuff. So guys, whatever retailer that you buy stuff from, either go and stock, go stock their websites, or go sign up for their email list. Because on their email list, not only will they send you coupons, but they will also tell you what is coming out, like their fall drops, summer, anything that's coming out. And those are all things that are, again, trending that people want. So for example, here on Pink Lily, I love to go to the graphics section. Because I mostly, even when I bought from them, this is what I mostly bought. Again, same thing we're doing here. So look, they already started putting Christmas stuff. So you're looking, again, you're just looking at the colors, you're looking at the fonts, the placements, you're just looking at everything, and you're just soaking it all in again. And then, for example, even here it tells you it's a bestseller. So this item for them have been selling really well. And you're looking again what it is. Is this, just this phrase, rocking around. It's all like a repeatable phrase, right? Which I'm sure you've seen that a lot on Etsy, right? And then they put a graphic on top of that. I'm sure you've seen that a lot. So you see where I'm going again when I say that demand is everywhere, and then you start seeing it here, and you see it there, you see it in so many different places, and then it all just kind of comes together. That's what you're looking at. Again, scrolling, and you're just looking at everything. You're just letting your brain look at it, kind of let it soak in, looking at, colors, again, fonts, anything, graphics, anything that's sticking out to you. And this is kind of what I do. So I love this website. I always come here like every so often, especially like throughout the seasons, to kind of see what they've have been adding that's trending. And you can do this with any place. Like this, you can do this with, PacSun, Target, Walmart, any retailer pretty much. Like I'm going to show you like Target next. So here on Target, I can just type in women's graphic tees, right? And then, of course, just with Target or Walmart and those type of retailers, just know that they do sell a lot of things that are trademarked. So don't take it like, oh, but Bridget, but a lot of the stuff here is trademarked. Don't look at you. All you're doing is looking at colors, fonts, placements, all of that. Just because an item is trademarked, like you're not looking at the actual trademark. I hope that makes sense. You're looking at maybe like what colors did they use, right? What fonts did they use? So that's what I want you to look at. Not the actual like word or phrase that they use that's trademark, right? So again, here, of course, we're not going to put, celebrities, right? But here, you're looking at this one. I mean, Halloween is kind of like, that still has gone. But checker is being, super popular. So for example, that you're looking at that. And same thing, you just kind of keep scrolling and you just like looking at colors, placements, this little color. Again, you just keep going and you keep going and you keep going. And again, if something catches your eye, all you do is you just like click on it and you look at it. Some more skeletons. Like, I know this is really big, and skeletons can share. Skeletons can sell all year long. So again, you look at the skeletons. This one is pretty cool because this one has like the little sunflowers. Yeah, it's like little flowers with the skeletons, and then they put a phrase up here, keep going, just to see what it says, just to see what, keep going, just to see what happens, or happy. So again, so you're looking at the color of this shirt, you're looking at what the skeletons look like, what they're doing. They got flowers. So this is, again, another one of those things where it's like trend combining, like when you combine two different things and you put them together. So they did like the skeletons with these flowers. So again, and then if I scroll down here, it will offer me even more things to look at. So that's kind of what I do with this type of places. And then after looking at all these other places outside of Etsy, because I love to do research on Etsy, but sometimes it's good to look outside because it just kind of gives you a broader spectrum. Like you can see even more things than just like Etsy. But then also go into Etsy, and then let's say if you're just like, well, I don't even know where to start. You can always just type in women's shirts. Like this is like always like the best way or place to start. Obviously, if you have like a certain niche or something, you can always put that in the search box, but always just start, with women's shirts or sweatshirts or, anything like that. So again, anything that's on the first page sells, right? So again, it's the same process that we're doing. We're just looking, like we're just gathering, we can look at the mock-ups, we can look at the color of the shirt, we can look at, the font, the text, everything, like everything that you see. And again, you just scroll, and if you see something that you really like that catches your eye, for example, there's mama with this custom, if you like that, you can click on it. Or like this, again, we're talking about the flowers, right? There's this flowers, you like it, you open it, right? Now you can look at it even better. So this is just like a flower or wallflowers designs, and those have been killing it on Etsy. And then guys, what you can do, if you be like, okay, well, I really like this, if you click over here, this is that shop. And now you can kind of like stalk that shop and see if you see any more things that shop has that you like. And that's kind of how you do it. And then you just keep scrolling and be like, okay, I like this and this from that shop. And you kind of do that. Or you just go back and you go back to like the normal search that you did. And you do the same thing again. Like this is a cute, obviously, forget the Halloween, but I'm looking at this beyond like the Halloween design that has, you shouldn't be listening for Halloween. If you should be focusing on Christmas now. But I'm not looking at this Halloween. I'm looking at this pocket design, right? Like they put this in the pocket and they put this on this military green sweatshirt, which I don't know if you know, but like military green has been super hot. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Now this design right here, what I'm looking, or even the design over here, I'm looking at this front and back designs have been doing really well. And this one is kind of cool too, because they put it here on the pocket and then they put it over here on this side. Or this one over here, they put it over here, a pocket, and then they put it here on the back, sorry. And this is a bestseller, guys. So that's kind of what you're looking at. And then they're using a comfort color shirt, which comfort color shirts have been killing it on Etsy. So again, you look, this one is kind of like a boxy, in a box design. So that's literally another front and back design with the skeletons again, Then you're looking at, this little goose bumps is an embroider, but this is the other thing. Just because you're not doing embroiders, that don't think that you cannot get inspiration from embroider items, because you can. I get so many inspiration for embroider items, it's crazy. because it's a good way to kind of like see at, like, for example, this is an embroidery shop, and if you want to, you can go into them and you can see maybe they have other items that maybe you as a print on demand seller, you can add to your shop. So like as a print on demand seller, you can do skeletons, you can do something like this, right? So you can kind of take your own spin on it. So don't let an item that technically we don't have access to scare you, because you can always create like some form of like inspiration, or you can take whatever fonts that we can do with print on demand and create it for those designs too. So I always look at everything. I mean, don't let nothing, again, pocket designs, obviously I wouldn't, do smiley faces, a trademark, but you looking rainbows, so this is kind of what you're doing. And let's say you have a niche, right? You want to create for dogs and you're in the dog mom niche. And then look at sweatshirts, right? Same thing. You would do the same thing. You just scroll and you will just look at designs, colors, fonts, placements, literally that's what you're doing. And if you're like me and you like to think outside of the box, you can even start looking. I love looking at like stickers, mugs, like any other items outside of what I sell. I love to do that because you can also find so much great inspiration. And this is a good way to add something that's different, because you can see something on a sticker that maybe it's not on a shirt, and then you can create it. That adds a whole other level of like standing out, right? So same thing, you see flowers over here too. Flowers with the, a ghost, same thing. So you get where I'm going. Skeletons again in a sticker, right? So you see how like all these things just kind of all come together. That's what you're looking at. So like I said, inspiration is everywhere. And you just gotta look at this and same thing. And you just go into, fueled by iced coffee and anxiety. Like, see, this is really like script fun, and they put some little cute stars. Like, again, you're just looking at all this. This is a little Barbie font that's been killing it too. I wouldn't use the Zach Barbie font because I know that's trademark, but again, you're looking at this at inspiration. So that's all you're doing. And you just keep going and you do this, guys, and this is what you do every single day as much as you can. And you go into rabbit holes and you go into rabbit holes, and let's say I like this sticker that says you got this, and I just go click on that sticker, and maybe I'll go into that shop, and then maybe I'll go look at what else that shop has that I might like. And that's kind of how you keep going and you going. So you see how this process is not very linear. It's not very like step one, do this, like it's just however you want your brain to lead you. The point is just to just look at items so that way you know more of what people want. You keep looking and you keep looking and you keep looking and you keep looking, and you go into rabbit holes, and this is what's going to help you create things that are unique, that stand out. So I can keep doing this, but I just wanted to give you like a little glance of how you can do this. So that way you don't feel so overwhelmed to like, okay, where you should start. But just know that there's no right or wrong way of doing this. The point is just for you to start and for you to do it. So the point is for you to start anywhere. Etsy, retailers, just anywhere. Even if you're walking around, anywhere, just always have your blinders on and just be looking. Have your eyes open, pretty much. Have your eyes open and just be willing to look and just take it all in. So I just wanted to share this with you guys just to kind of like give you like a head start. But now, just go and run with it. So I know this was a super long video, but I really hope that you got something out of it and that you're going to get your research on. So if you found value, please subscribe, like, hit the bell so you can be notified of the next time that I release a new video. Bye.